shortly after splashdown. The Navy divers and a Navy flight surgeon will pull alongside the spacecraft to begin the process of erecting the front porch. Then they will open up the hatch and begin to extract the crew members one by one. They'll have an opportunity to get their land legs back a bit before they're hoisted one by one in harnesses up inside the two awaiting helicopters. They'll be hoisted up in alternating fashion. So there'll be two crew members for each helicopter for the short ride back to the Merthyr. Once they arrive on the deck of the ship, they'll be brought into medical bay for comprehensive medical exams. That is all part of the post-flight medical evaluation of these crew members as they complete their mission around the moon and back to Earth.
Integrity Houston for entry checklist.
Go ahead, Jackie.
Hey, Reed. A couple of questions for you. We realized we didn't give you an explicit thumbs up to perform step 1.2 for the flight path angle hash mark update, so we wanted to confirm that you did, in fact, perform the set EI FPA limits procedure. And secondly, we want your opinion on the in and out CMIS caution. Is that something that will be distracting such that we should inhibit it?
Okay, we are going to go execute 1.2. We had skipped that, and we would prefer to inhibit the CMIS caution on board.
Okay, we copy, and just to close the loop on that, that will mean on flight.landing you would not have a yellow or down arrow indication if that does stay below the threshold.
totally fine.
Houston, integrity for toilet deactivation.
Integrity, Jackie had to step off for a second. Go ahead for toilet.
Yes, sir. Hey, Stan. Great to hear your voice. We are ready for MCC to deactivate the toilet.
Houston copies. Putting that in work.
This is Mission Control Houston. That communication from Christina Cook on board Integrity to spacecraft communicator Stan Love.
Integrity for burn telemetry on CM raise burn. 2 questions.
Go for CM raise questions.
Hey, Jackie, we see a Delta V tote on our display of 9.9, which is fairly close to the 8.5 on the entry pad, but our TGO on the display is 44 seconds, and the entry pad estimated 19 seconds. Can you all take a look at that for us?
Hey, Reed, good catch. The explanation there is that Delta V is about what we expect update-wise, but the TGO calculation is not understanding that you will not have the SM when you burn CM raise. So it's doing a different mass calculation there.
I remember that class in November of 2023 in Building 5 on the 3rd floor. Thank you very much.
This is Mission Control Houston. Commander Reed Wiseman inquiring about the values for the upcoming crew module raise burn. Again, as we've explained, this burn that's scheduled 2 hours and 51 minutes from now is designed to tilt the angle of attack a bit upward, basically raising the aft end of the vehicle prior to entry interface to improve the angle of attack and minimize heating effects on the heat shield for the Orion vehicle. The crew module raise burn will occur about 4 minutes after the service module is separated from the crew module, and we're expecting about a 19-second burn.
Integrity, Houston, the toilet is unpowered.
Christina Rogers, thank you.
The crew module raise burn is expected to be 19 seconds in duration, with a change in velocity of about 9.9 feet per second. Once again, that's designed to fine-tune the angle of attack for Integrity as it enters the Earth's atmosphere, which will occur about 16.5 minutes after the raise burn itself. And as you heard, spacecraft communicator Jackie Mahaffey relaying that we have sent commands to turn off the ship's potty, so it is no longer to be used for the remainder of the mission, with splashdown scheduled 3 hours and 19 minutes from now. The 4 crew members on board Integrity, Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen, are in the process of completing the stowage of items in the crew cabin before they move into their entry checklist, basically looking through all of the chronological procedures that lie ahead for the rapid-fire succession of all of the events that will unfold over the course of the next 3 hours. Integrity is about 25,000 nautical miles from Earth, continuing to accelerate towards a splashdown in the Pacific 3 hours and 18 minutes from now. All of Integrity's systems are in excellent shape. The crew is great, feeling well, and the weather in the splashdown zone in the Pacific, although a bit cloudy with broken and scattered clouds, is a go forecast with just 10-knot winds and wave heights less than 4 feet. Views from
My father's gonna kill. Now, Ariel is a significant shift from every other. I'm 16 years old. I'm not a child.
Don't you take that tone of voice with me, young lady.
Scuttle, look what we found. What? What is it? A dingle hopper. Music. Concert. Oh my gosh, my father's gonna kill. Now, Ariel is a significant shift from every other princess before her because she's brighter and more forward in placement than her predecessors, while having a more mixed voice than a pure head voice, with genuine emotional urgency behind her words. And yes, she still does go up in pitch when she's excited, and she's still breathless and light, but there's actual want in that voice in a way that Snow White, Cinderella, and Sleeping Beauty simply don't have. It's the Broadway effect. Ariel's onset sound much more committed, and she lands on her words as opposed to floating over them, and her dynamic range is much wider because she's actually reacting instead of performing composure. The Disney Renaissance was giving princesses permission to want things out loud for the first time, and you can really hear precisely when that permission was given. I'm 16 years old. I'm not a child.
Don't you take that tone of voice with me, young lady.
Scuttle, look what we found. What? What is it? A dingle hopper. Music. Concert. Oh my gosh, gosh, my father's gonna kill.
Now, Ariel is a significant shift from every other princess before her.
And I cannot explain what they saw.
I got one of the most famous astronauts of all time, pilot, astronaut, Senator Mark Kelly, to answer questions about being an astronaut that everyone's too afraid to ask.
There are rumors about an odor on the ISS. Could you try to describe that odor?
When you open the hatch to the space station, it is like a punch in the face. I'd say it's a combination of locker room, garbage, and BO.
Is there something that astronauts pretend is normal in interviews, but is actually just incredibly weird?
I mean, using the bathroom, not the urination part, but the other part is incredibly complex. And I could go into very graphic detail that would freak people out. You know, think about like when people have surgery and then they're in bed and how their whole like gut system shuts down. That kind of happens to most people in space. I mean, we are designed genetically, evolutionarily to live in gravity. Probably in a couple years, a human would turn into just like kind of a bag of jelly.
Do you get an adrenaline rush still?
Oh, yeah. And I would go back under the right conditions. Like if I could go to the space station again, like on flying like a Falcon 9 or something in a Dragon, I would go in a second. Spacewalks are hard though. The training is really hard. And we had to put in restrictions on training, especially how much time somebody could spend upside down in the pool with all their weight on their shoulders because the suit is neutrally buoyant in the water. So it's underwater and it's floating, but you are not neutrally buoyant in the suit.
Would you go to the moon?
Yeah, I would go. Wouldn't you?
No. Did going to space permanently change how you see conflict back on Earth?
Yeah, you look down at the Earth as a big round ball just floating there in the blackness of space. Let me remind your viewers, round. And you really get this sense how we're all in this together. There's no borders between nations that you can see.
What are your thoughts on aliens?
You know, I think it would be very egotistical of us to think we're the only intelligent species in the galaxy or in the universe. If we ever encountered, and I don't think it's likely that we do, but if we ever encountered any other kind of life, it's going to be either millions of years behind us technologically or millions of years ahead of us. So what does that mean to me? We don't want to. And I will also admit there has been some very compelling cases, one in particular that is very public. F-18s with the TikTok thing. I've talked to the two crew members involved in that. They're very, very credible. And I cannot explain what they saw. I mean, this is the hardest job I've had in the Senate. Not this job. Not the astronaut job's hard. It's not like being in the Senate. And I cannot explain what they saw.
I got one of the most famous astronauts of all time, pilot, astronaut, Senator.
And the crew module raise burn that is scheduled at 6:37 p.m. Central Time and which will be conducted is only required to lift the aft end of the vehicle ever so slightly by a degree or two to improve the angle of attack of the spacecraft as it enters the atmosphere, mitigating peak heating effects on the heat shield for integrity. But our trajectory is dead set, right on the money, right down the pike, heading for a splashdown 3 hours and 10 minutes from now at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time.